In this video, we'll be discussing how you can apply Outreach AI agent for your business, which will essentially do lead generation, where we are doing LinkedIn scraping, Apollo IO, as well as Clutch IO. So we're scraping all the leads from all these platforms and saving it into our Airtable as the database. Next, when we have the lead generation, we also have to do lead enrichment. So after getting a list of company domains that we should target, what we're doing is we're using Hunter IO to get the top decision makers of the entire company, and then we'll be reaching out to them using email follow-ups as well as LinkedIn follow-ups. So for LinkedIn follow-ups, this is the entire flow. We're using browser flow as a tool. And what this does is sending out connection requests. We are creating customized follow-ups. We are sending the LinkedIn messages on a queue. And then we are also waiting for a reply. So as soon as they reply, only then we qualify them as, to the next stage. And this is the email follow-up system. This email follow-up system basically has follow-up emails, sending out each and every email, and then also waiting for a reply on the email. So if the lead replied to us on the email, we are going to save that stage into our Airtable as well. So finally, each and every data that this entire AI automation will be fetching, we are storing it into this Airtable. So this Airtable essentially has this leads table where we have information about each and every lead. So we have the name, we have the email, this is the domain. So how we are fetching out the lead? Are we using a website? Are we getting the leads from Apollo? And so on and so forth. Then we have email follow-ups. Have we created them an email follow-up? Have we gotten a reply on LinkedIn? Have we sent them a LinkedIn connection request? Have we created LinkedIn follow-ups? So all the details, all the statuses are being stored into this Airtable. Then we have the designation. So here you can see that we are storing the designation of the human being. We are storing the company name. We are storing the LinkedIn profile. And this is an AI generated summary which we are generating after scraping their LinkedIn. So this is going to be a very personalized summary. It's not going to be any HSAC. Perfect. Moving on to the follow-up system, we have these email queue. So in this email queue, we have created 4 follow-ups for each lead. So you can see that we have this user where we are sending out these 4 follow-ups with stages 0, 1, 2, and 3. We are also storing the status of have we sent them a message or not. And we have the schedule date, on what dates should we send out these messages. We have the subject of the email and we have the body of the email. So using this email queue, we'll be sending out messages based on a scheduled date. Next, what we have is as a LinkedIn queue. Similar to email queue, this part also works very same. We have LinkedIn profile where we are sending out 4 follow-ups. We have the scheduled date. We have the message for LinkedIn that we need to send out. We can also manually customize these messages if we want to. That's totally up to you. So these are the entire automation as well as CRM that we'll be discussing in this entire video. So watch this video till the end if you want to increase the revenue of the business by adding lead generation, by adding LinkedIn follow-ups as well as email follow-ups. That really matters a lot. So hey everybody, I am Prakash Gupta, founder of Small AI, where we are running an AI automation agency that helps businesses scale using different AI automation system that serves different purposes. If you're someone who's looking to learn more AI automations, make sure you click on the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And if you're a business owner who's looking to get more automations done, feel free to book a call with me where we help businesses understand how AI can help scale their business. And if you want this entire automation added to your business, get the editing template from the description of this video and I'll teach you how you can set everything up as well. So now let's understand this entire outreach AI agent on a whiteboard. So this outreach AI agent will consist of the following steps. First is going to be the description of the lead, then we have lead generation, we have lead enrichment, and then we have email follow-ups as well as LinkedIn follow-ups. For this entire outreach AI agent, we need the following tools. We need n8n for the entire automation. We need Airtable, where we're storing all the information about leads as well as outreach. Next, there is AP5. So using AP5, we are scraping information from Clutch.io, from LinkedIn search, as well as Apollo. So AP5 helps us in doing all of that. You can find the links of all the tools in the description of this video. Next, we're using browser flow. Now, browser flow is this amazing tool that I recently came across. And this browser flow tool helps us in sending out connection requests, sending out messages. We can also check the connection status. We can also see the chat history of the user. So browser flow is an amazing tool for that. Next, and the last tool is Hunter.io. So Hunter.io will essentially be used in the lead enrichment process where we have a company domain and we want to get the high quality or the decision makers of the company. So Hunter will basically, when we send out a company domain, Hunter will give us all the employees that are working in the company. And then we can filter out all the decision makers that we want. So essentially you can see that we have all the decision makers listed in this code module. We are mentioning we want the CEO, CTO, CFO, founder, investors, president, and you can modify this entire flow according to your use case. Perfect. Coming onto the whiteboard, when you have all these tools set up, we can begin with the entire automation. First is the description of the lead. So of course, what type of lead do you want to target? What is the end goal? And what type of companies do you want to collaborate with? That should be described in a Airtable. So in this Airtable, you can see we have a settings tab. So this settings tab, you can have a description of the company. So it basically is a clear English description where you can keep on describing what type of companies do you want to target and what should be the ideal company size, what should be the ideal company location. So these parameters signifies the description of the lead. Now this description of the lead will be sent to this lead generation from keywords workflow. Now talking about the lead generation workflow, what we have here is it triggers manually. We can also have a schedule trigger, and we're getting all the details from Airtable into this Airtable module. So here you can see that we're getting the settings tab from the Outreach AI Airtable. Perfect. When we do that, this AI agent will basically convert this entire English description that we're describing the entire company ideal ICPs here. We can convert this entire description into a set of keywords. Now, when we have a set of keywords, we want to loop over each and every keyword and we want to start scraping out data. So that's where we start this loop and we have three separate workflows linked to one another. First is the clutch one, the second one is the LinkedIn scraping, and the third one is the Apollo. So I've described each and every workflow over this part. So this is the clutch workflow. Talking about the clutch workflow, it begins with the API clutch search. So when we do a clutch search, it will get us a lot of leads. And what essentially happens is API actor runs on the backend. So when you trigger the actor, it will take some time to get the final details. So this flow basically ensures that we're checking out the actor status after a while, and after we have done that, we are getting all the details from API. So basically, when we've received all the details from API, what needs to be done is we need to filter out details. We need to filter out leads based on the parameters. So here's the filter where we're using an AI agent and we've passed out all the details about our requirement, and it will give us output like true or false for each and every lead. Next, we are filtering those details out. Then we have a company analysis tool. So this company analysis will basically search out the company information from Clutch.io and will put out an AI analysis and save it into our Airtable. So from Clutch, we'll be getting a Clutch URL of the company, which is not useful to us. So what we do is we are scraping out company domain from the Clutch URL. And when we have the company, we are simply doing this execute serve workflow. I'll come back to the serve workflow in the later stage. Perfect. Next part is LinkedIn scraping. So in this LinkedIn scraping, what we're doing is similar to Clutch.io, we are searching on LinkedIn for the first time, and then we are getting out the information at this particular level. When we have all the leads, we are going to do a loop and we are going to scrape the company page, scrape their personal LinkedIn. After we have done scraping the company details as well as their personal LinkedIn, we do a duplicate search into our Airtable. So if we already have that lead, we are not going to move forward with that. If we don't have that lead already, we are going to add it into our Airtable, execute this sub workflow. Last but not the least, this Apollo AP factor basically is doing the same thing just like LinkedIn, but will be getting leads directly instead of company domain. So from all the above AI automations, we are getting company domains. That's why we have to do this execute serve workflow part. But from Apollo, we get direct leads. We get direct people whom we can contact. So that's why I'm not executing the serve workflow in the end. Talking about the serve workflow, this is the serve workflow that I've attached to LinkedIn as well as Clutch.io. This serve workflow basically is using Hunter.io, where we are feeding out the company domain and we're getting all the employees from the company, and then we are filtering out the company domains based on the top decision makers that we define. After this, we are scraping their LinkedIn profile and generating a summary and then adding this to our Airtable. So in this Airtable, we are getting the leads and we have generated this AI summary. Perfect. So this is the entire lead generation from keywords workflow. Coming back to the whiteboard, we have done this. We have done the description of the workflow. This lead enrichment is basically this part where we are scraping the top decision makers of the company. So this is the lead enrichment flow. So lead enrichment flow is also done. Now the next part is email follow-ups as well as LinkedIn follow-ups. So coming on to the email follow-ups first. This is the email follow-up flow, which is divided into three parts. First is creating these email follow-ups. So of course, we should be able to define how many follow-ups do we want to create. So in this here table, I've created a separate table which is named as follow-up settings. In the follow-up settings, you can define the count of follow-ups that you want to create and the gap between them. So you can see that this is an array. You can define there should be, so ideally what from this gap array, it will signify that we are going to send out a follow-up on day one. We're going to send out a follow-up on day three. We're going to send out a follow on day 6, and after day 6, we're going to send out a follow up on day 8. So basically, this signifies the gap between each follow-up. Using all these details, we are going to create X number of follow-ups and we'll save it into our Airtable. So I'll show you the results first. So in this email queue table, you can see we have these 4 emails with stages mentioned. We have also the schedule date, the subject as well as the body. So why we're creating all these follow-ups at the same time? To make a story out of the follow-up. So you can see that these follow-ups are not just random follow-ups. So this is the entire email queuing system that we've built for email follow-up. So now we have created these email follow-ups. Next part is sending out emails. Depending on the schedule date, for example, 30th of May, 2nd June, 4th June, every day it will check what all emails do we have to send. And all the emails that are scheduled for today, we're going to start sending out those emails one by one using the Gmail module in this N10 automation. Last but not the least, we have the email reply queue. So every email that we send out, we also need to check if the user has replied or not. So we check out the thread and we see if the user has replied or not. If they've sent out a reply, we basically mark that lead that we have received an email reply from that particular lead. So now a human can take on the interaction and the lead will be marked as warm stage. The next part is LinkedIn follow-up system. This LinkedIn follow-up system is essentially divided into 4 parts. So email can be sent out without making any connections, but LinkedIn messages, you need to set up a connection. So this flow basically takes care of that. Again, before we move forward, let me just tell you we're using browser flow for this. Browser flow is a tool that we're using for LinkedIn automation. I'll link everything below so you can take a look and you can get the trial version just to work with it. So we are sending out this connection request using browser flow to each and every lead that is stored in this leads table. The next part is again creating LinkedIn follow-ups. So similar to email follow-ups, we have is our LinkedIn queue where we are pushing out 4 follow-ups for each lead. The number of follow-ups is dependent on the count that is mentioned here. So when we've created these follow-ups, the next part is sending out these messages. So depending on the date, it will keep sending out these messages each and every single day. And here we are also using browser flow. So it is a very convenient tool that you can use to automate your entire LinkedIn. The last part is waiting for the reply. So each and every day we check if the user has replied to us or not. If they have, what we do is we stop sending out the follow-ups. So we delete the follow-ups, the future follow-ups from the Airtable. So for example, if Arnav Arora sent a reply to us at this particular stage, all these next follow-ups, stage 2 and stage 3, will be deleted from the LinkedIn queue so that we don't accidentally send out this follow-up in the future, which does not make really sense. So again, as soon as we have gotten a reply from them, we'll delete all the future follow-ups from those clients. So this is the entire follow-up system that we have created. Now, all the tools that I've been talking about are going to be linked in the description of this video. So you can just go to the description. The first link is going to be the Gumroad link where you can download this entire AI automation. Next, I'm going to list on all the tools and resources. So for N10, I'll link out how you can create an N10 account, how you can get the entire automation template, how you can get browser flow, how you can get Hunter.io, and how you can get AB5. All the links will be provided in the description. And when you go over the Gumroad, I'll also provide the entire all the workflows that we have discussed. All these 5 workflows that we have discussed will be linked in the Gumroad link. So you can download all the JSON files from Gumroad and then you can start uploading these workflows into your N10 cloud. Awesome. I hope this entire video provided value to you. If you want to use this automation, feel free to download the entire Gumroad link. Don't miss out any of my other videos because we are working on a lot of crazy automations for different business owners. So check out my YouTube channel where I continuously post new and different automations that can help you scale your entire business. If you're a business owner that is looking to automate some customized operations, book a call with me using the Calendly link in the description of this video and we can hop on where me and my team can discuss out how automations can help scale your business. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.